Danny Blomster alongside my colleagues AJ Traub and Alex Picarella. We are here to talk about the NFL season next year, and we've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. First off, who do you think is going to be the NFC team that makes the Super Bowl in the upcoming season? Alex, to you.
Well, there's a lot of good NFC teams, but I'm really thinking that the Packers are going to make a good run. I think they're always good each year. They've had a few missteps, but they seem to go by a lot of teams, and they're always just one step away from breaking it and going to the Super Bowl. So I think this might be the year for them.
To you, AJ.
Packers are very good, but I think this is the year that the Cardinals finally make it out of that semifinal. I think that they still have a great team. Carson Palmer is playing great, and they've got a really nice young wide receiver core and still a powerhouse in defense, and I think this is the time that they do make it to the Super Bowl.
Alex, what do you think sets the Cardinals, the Packers above the Cardinals in this 2016 season?
Well, I mean, I think overall they're kind of a better team. You know, I like the Cardinals, don't get me wrong. I think they're a good team. But, you know, the Packers and Cardinals have always been close, you know, both in the regular season we saw last year and in the playoffs. I think the Cardinals' defense is a little bit better than the Packers, but all around, with offense and defense put together, I think the Packers might just be a little bit better, and that'll push them to the Super Bowl.
I'm going to disagree with both of you. I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers again, because they're still an excellent, well-rounded team. They got that defense, and then on offense, they still have Cam Newton, who always figures out how to win games. And they've got, in my opinion, a pretty good offensive line. And they've got Greg Olsen, and they've got options in receivers. Moving on to the AFC. AJ, what team do you think makes the Super Bowl in the AFC?
I don't think it's going to be that close. Now that the Denver Broncos have lost Peyton Manning and Terrence Knighton has gone to the Patriots, I think the Patriots are going to walk into that Super Bowl like they've done a bunch of times before. They're going to win the division despite having 4 games with Garoppolo at quarterback. I think their team is too good for the loss of Tom Brady for just a couple of games to stop their season, and it's not really going to be a question this year.
Alex?
Well, whether or not Tom Brady gets suspended, I do agree with AJ. I think the Pats are going to go right to the Super Bowl. It's going to be, I wouldn't say it's going to be no competition. Don't get me wrong, the Broncos still scare me a little bit, even though they've lost part of their defense. You know, you never know what can happen with the Patriots, but I feel confident every year, and hopefully I'll be ready to get in this one.
I think we all agree on that one, because ever since Bill Belichick has joined the Patriots in 2001, they've made the playoffs 13 of 15 times. Moving on to your AFC sleeper, Alex.
Well, I picked the Raiders a lot of times, and I still think they'll be a sleeper, but just to be a little bit different, I'm going to go with the Steelers. Le'Veon Bell was amazing last year, and even with his injury, they still went pretty far. So I think with Le'Veon Bell healthy throughout the year, hopefully throughout the year, the Steelers are just going to go right, honestly, I think, to the AFC Championship game.
AJ?
I'm going to go with the New York Jets. They have a really nice young team, and they've got a great offensive core with Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker at wide receiver, and they picked up Matt Forte. They're one decent quarterback away from the playoffs, and they're one great quarterback away from being a championship contender, and their defense is always very good.
Both possible sleepers. I've got the Oakland Raiders because they're so well managed, and I think this year Derek Carr started off the season last year excellently, and he kind of went downhill. But they've got one of the most talented wide receivers in all football in Amari Cooper, and I think the Oakland Raiders will be NFL contenders next year. That's all the time we've got, folks. This is AJ Traub alongside Alex Picarella. I'm Danny Blomster with the NFL Update.